Guys, we have YouTube today. Who wants to be on YouTube? Nobody? YouTube. Anybody want to be on YouTube? Shabab. You look like you've been made for this. You're born for this role. All right, Shabab right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Shabab. All right, guys, really quickly. We'll talk about a very basic day one concept. We weren't fundamentals much in my classes this week. We're going to do some similar concept that we were doing the last 2 weeks with the guard passing. We're going to get into the similar hubs, but we're going to work from the bottom today. Guys, let's talk about some very basic concepts. So Shabab, if his elbows are close to his body, he is strong, right? Everybody can agree. If his elbows are far away from his body, he is weak. There's a lot of different things that I can do, especially if I infiltrate all of these gaps between his elbow and his body, right? So a couple of things, understanding this idea. If I make this grip like this on Shabab, just a standard grip, Andreas, where is the direction that he's going to break the grip? Towards himself, right? He's going to break the grip, guys, where the gap between the middle finger and the thumb exists, or in any direction of the thumb. So if I can grab as strong as I can, go ahead, Shabab. Look what happens to his elbow. His elbow stays close to his body, right? However, what if I grab like this? If I grab like this, now he has to break the grip where? Pause. Look what happens to that space, right? So if I make an inverse grip, right? If I'm here with Shabab, if I make this grip here, if he breaks it away, now it gave me an opportunity to potentially go for an underhook. Today I'm going to use an arm drag, etc., etc., etc. So actually, Keanu, like, he was even doing this. I saw when he was drilling, he was going like this. This is great, guys. Anytime we're wrestling, anytime I'm able to clear my partner's hands, now I have access to the legs. I can pull guard. I can do a lot of different things, right? So, guys, understanding this idea, we're going to do the same thing from the butterfly. So Shabab is going to be in front of me. Okay, when I'm hand fighting, again, if I make a grip like this on Shabab, it's going to be very easy for him to break that grip, and I was not able to get anything for it. But if I make this kind of grip, if Shabab breaks it, a lot of times that's going to give me an opportunity to get an underhook or get something in that space, right? So again, that's very, very important. Even what if I want to go to close guard? Like I make that grip, he breaks it, now maybe I'm going to pull Shabab into close guard, whereas when his elbows were inside, he would have been able to intercept my legs. Like if I go here, he breaks that grip. No. If I go here, he breaks that grip. I try to go to close guard, his hands are there to protect themselves. Many different scenarios, I just gave a couple, right? So again, but we're going to talk about what I'm going to use this grip with, which is going to be the arm drag. So I'm going to make this grip, I'm going to fan his arm away, and I created a big pocket of space for myself. I'm going to go as high in his armpit as I can. As soon as I'm high on his armpit, I'm going to take that leg out. When I take the leg out, I'm going to drag his arm across my body, I'm going to scooch my leg in, and I'm going to go to his far hip immediately without letting go of the arm drag, like this. I'm going right away for his hip. Guys, the biggest error that people make here is they let go like this. They let go and they try to build height, and then the other person puts an underhook, and now you're ending up getting smashed in half guard. This is what happens to almost everyone when they first learn this move. So for that not to happen, as I hit my drag, I want to keep that, and I'm using my elbow as a post to heist up and bring my chest high in my training partner's back. Very, very basic. Stay frozen, Shabab. Guys, Shabab has a good wrestling base, which is great, but sometimes for jiu-jitsu it can be used against him. Look at this big gap that exists over here. Since there's a big gap, a lot of times I'm going to throw my hook from the top and I score my points. Okay, now my job is done. I'm going to keep heavy on Shabab, later make him fall, etc. But again, I'm able to score my points. So a lot of people are going to be a little lower. They're going to close, exactly. They're going to close that space, exactly. So there's no space for that hook. In that instance, I'm going to go for my seatbelt. This was going to stay on the floor. I'm going to use my shoulder to go right into his neck. I'm going to roll Shabab over, and we land in that same hub we were in last week, where he's covering, and I have a nice seatbelt on him, and I have my feet crossed. I'm going to use my lower back to open him up, and my top hook comes in, finished. Okay, so really, really basic, day one. So again, I'm here in front of Shabab, we're hand fighting, I clear, I hit my drag, and I take my leg out simultaneously, and I'm going to the far hip right away. Once I get those two grips, guys, I'm not letting go of them. All right, I'm going to use that to bring myself up, cover as much surface area as I can, go to my seatbelt, use my shoulder to roll him over, cross my feet, open him up, second. All right, so this is part one. Guys, when we're doing this, all right, let's see what happens if Shabab opens this leg. All right, I'm dragging this arm, but he's going to open up this leg. Go ahead, Shabab. Nothing really happens. I can do the same exact thing, and we end up in the same exact position. So if he opens up the far leg, nothing really happens. I continue on to my destination, everything is good. But what happens, guys, is as I'm doing the drag, he opens up the near leg. Now look, this is blocking access to the far hip. It's impossible. I can't get the far hip, I can't get the back. It's too high up. Unless I'm extremely explosive, I do some kind of jump. But let's say I'm not. It all depends if his leg ends up in between my legs, or if his legs ends up on the outside. We're going to talk about both. So for example, when I'm here, what if Shabab was preemptive? As I'm hitting the drag, he already opens up that leg. Now my leg is in between. What if Shabab is 1 second late? I'm hitting the drag and he opens it up. Now it ends up in between. So if it's in between, I'm going to look to wrestle. If it's on the outside, I'm going to do that in a second. I'm going to go single leg X. I'm hooking around his leg, my head goes on the inside, I post my hand, I pop up to my knees, and now I can start to shelve that leg. Now I can start to go to my wrestling from here. Bring my hip above his, run him down. I can put him down to the side. I can go for the handcuff. I got a lot of different things that I can do to score from there, okay? Second situation is gonna be what happens if I go, he's a little preemptive with it, he steps it up a little earlier. You don't have to give it to me so much about, you can step it back a little, yeah. I'm gonna go behind the knee, 2 pulls, and as I do the 2 pulls, now I scooch in, and now I'm in my single leg X. So it just depends where his foot is, in between my legs or on the outside, and I'm gonna choose either single X or the rest of them. And it depends on when he opens his leg up. So we're wrestling here, I hit my drag, he steps that leg up, immediately I'm gonna go to wrestle. Guys, sometimes here, it takes a little time to shelve it, right? There's no problem to just go for a little double leg. Just make sure you jump over right away so you don't land in front of their legs. You can do this too, all right? You have to be a little explosive for that. Jump over right away. Yeah, one more time. So we're here, he steps it up. Sometimes I'll just go, and then I'm just jumping over, making sure that I'm not in front of his legs, because I don't want him to repay me with his sweep. Or the second one is, I'm going, he steps it up preemptively, behind the knee, 2 pulls, scooch myself in, now I have a really nice leg position. All right, guys, let's run through this series, and then we have a part 2 that come right after this, all right? So when I'm in my butterfly guard, so on the back, Big Will, pop quiz for Big Will, Scottish, put him on YouTube. He needs to be famous, that guy, he needs some notoriety. Because his Instagram, he has no photos. What is the most important thing on the back take? The most important thing?
The hooks.
Which one?
The lower one.
Easy. Passed. Okay, check. Bottom hook. The bottom hook is everything, guys. So when I'm here, when I'm in my butterfly guard, right? The really cool thing is that after I take the arm out, and as I'm hitting the drag, Vic, look at this leg. The really cool thing is that it's automatically, just by being inside, it's my bottom hook. Guys, a lot of people, they lace the leg like this. And when you lace the leg like this, look, you now a lot of times lost the ability to put your knee on the floor and to bring yourself up. And you're actually a little bit stuck. Some people like, you know, going here and going there and then doing these kind of things. But this is gonna probably work on the person if he's asleep, all right? But it's not really gonna work. So, you know, you can have fun with it maybe, but it's not very high percentage. But what's really simple and high percentage is bring yourself up and coming over here. Look at this foot, it's just in between his legs. I don't need to lace it, all right? From here, if there's that gap, just keep that gap. I'll throw a hook, or sometimes, no, keep that gap, keep that. Sometimes I'm gonna just lock my legs over that space, all right? And now I'm gonna have Shabab just carry my weight. In 30 seconds, he's gonna get even a little more fatigued, and now I'm gonna keep carving away, and then eventually we're gonna fall over, and then I'll put my top hook in. Very realistic. I'll gladly have Shabab carry my weight. So, understanding this, the top player, let's switch roles, Shabab. The top player understands the value of the bottom hook. All right, that's everything. So a lot of times I'm here, Shabab, pause. I lost the opportunity to post, all right? Or I know that if I post, he can wrestle up, or he puts me in single leg X. So a lot of people are gonna scramble out of it. Shabab, go. They end up doing this, all right? They end up just literally hopping over and denying you the access to the bottom hook, taking it out, right? So let's talk about what happens then. So again, I do my inverse grip, I'm taking this out, I'm hitting my drag, I'm going, Shabab jumps over. As soon as he jumps over, guys, I'm gonna keep the drag, and I'm gonna look to circle, and I'm gonna go towards his back, and I'm gonna go towards the turtle position. Looks familiar from last week? From here, guys, I'm gonna peel the elbow. As I peel the elbow, this is as good as the grip we were using last week. And then all I'm gonna do is just bring my knee in, same as before, going to my seatbelt, stepping over his foot. As soon as I step over his foot, I'm gonna lift it up towards myself, roll all the way through, bottom hook comes back in, I adjust myself, I open him up, and I bring the top hook in. Same exact as last week, all right? Except we're just doing it from the drag position, from the bottom position, as opposed to from the top, all right? So again, we're playing right over here. I start to go, Shabab jumps over, I chase, and I'm going behind him just like this. I keep this arm, guys. If I can keep this arm, it's gonna be difficult for him to connect his knee and his elbow together. So for that reason, it's not gonna be too difficult for me to bring my own knee in. Seatbelt goes in, I'm stepping over his foot, and now look how I lift his ankle up. And as I'm falling, I'm putting pressure on the inside of his knee, and my knee comes right into the spot like this. This is just there momentarily for a placeholder for my hook. From here, I hip escape up, lock my legs, open him up, bring the top hook in. All right, so it's very, very realistic, especially if he has a wrestling base, especially if he knows the value of the bottom hook. He may jump over to deny us. If he jumps over to deny us, we can still chase the back from the top turtle position. Sometimes it'll just be a reversal. Like sometimes if Shabab does it on me, go ahead. He's here, he goes for the drag, I jump over. Sometimes this happens, all right? Shabab got his 2 points. He's on top of me, very realistic. It's good for him. I did that just because I didn't want to risk getting my back taken. So a lot of times, you'll see this happen as well. Be prepared for that. All right, guys, let's play with this.